For me, a really formative thing was one evening. I remember it was a lovely summer evening. I knew I had to visit somebody in the Vancouver General. And it was somebody, I really liked and respected, and he was very ill. So I went to see him. He was in a private ward, and his name was Len. And Len was really his life was ending. And I went very near to him and I began to say the Our Father. And to my surprise, he began to join in. And, those words would have meant something to him all his life. But I spent a few minutes with him, and then I came out and I was walking down the long hospital corridor. And just before I reached a door on my right, um, very elderly woman was wheeled out in a wheelchair. And the glimpse I got of her before the nurse turned away in front of me was that she really was out of it. Her, her hair was just sort of lank and disheveled. Her head was bent down, and she was so weak that she had to be held into the chair by some kind of belt. And immediately, you sort of assumed somebody absolutely out of it. And then an extraordinary thing occurred. We all walked a few more yards. I was behind them because they were ahead of me. And suddenly, this strong voice says, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vale and hill, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. And I realized that it was this elderly woman who I thought just was out of it. And I began to realize a couple of things: that you never prejudge people,
Mm-hmm.
you never write them off. And also, it was my realization that how important it was or is to have a kind of a golden treasury inside your head, not just on your computer as your generation has it, but inside your head so that when you need it, you can use it. And I will never forget that moment, that of the immense surprise of that. Okay, that was one very formative moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
So let's pause for a moment.
Okay.